Hi, my name's Andrew Kasmer, and I'm the team captain for Team Liftoff. Growing up, I got my start in model aircraft. From there, my love of making all things just evolved. Since then, my experience, capabilities, and the workshop have evolved. I taught myself to solder, weld, and do general fabrication work. Growing up, I watched the old BattleBots series on TV and on YouTube, and I really enjoyed it. When I found out there was a local scene for combat robotics, I immediately got involved. Outside of combat robotics, I'm an avid runner, hiker, and powerlifter. I grew up surfing, always near the water, and so I love everything outdoors. On top of that, I was a Boy Scout and an Eagle Scout. I'm currently a student studying at Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute, studying aeronautical engineering, but I graduate in May of 2022, so by the time that we're on the show, I'll have an aeronautical engineering degree. I'm also commissioning as an active duty infantry lieutenant in May 2022. We've spent a lot of time growing our experience in the smaller weight classes. I got my father involved, and together we started Team Liftoff. Since then, we've been developing multi-brain spinners that have been extremely successful in the lower weight classes. We now feel that we're ready to head up to the heavyweight scene with BattleBots and dominate the field with our multi-bot, Daedalus and Icarus, dual multi-brain spinners.
Hello, I'm Jim Kasmer. I've been involved in robotics for about the last 10, 11 years. The first 7 or so were as a coach for middle school and high school robotics. And about 4 years ago, I joined Team Liftoff.
Hi, I'm Josh. I study ocean engineering at UNH, and I help with the fabrication and driving of the robot.
I'm super excited for all the melty builders out there. I think we just set a new standard for melty performance, and proved this obscure bot class can actually do well at the highest level of robot combat.
What excites me the most about multi-brains is I believe we can actually build a multi-brain that is more maneuverable, more agile than any other type of bot. The ability to slide or drift in any direction at any time, and to do so just as quickly as other bots can drive forward or backwards, is a huge advantage. On top of that, we're developing technology, it's radar-like technology, that allows us to see where the opponent is, see where the walls are, and use that with the computer-aided driving to allow us to slide around the side of an opponent.
Oh, and this audience is pumped. Wow.
The problem with most multi-bot robots is that they have anemic weapons because they have to split their mass between 2 robots. As a multi-brain, we dedicate the entire mass of our robot to spinning. It all goes into our weapon power, which allows us to generate these massive hits you're seeing on screen. For BattleBots, we get 2 120-pound spinning robots, which means that we have more spinning power in the box than anyone in the field by a factor of 2. You see here our 30-pound robot that we built as a demonstrator for the heavyweight, eviscerating its first opponent, Darkseid. Look at the translation speed. Massive engagement.
Project Liftoff is a fan favorite, and it's always fun to read through the comments that people leave behind. In this first fight, we were up against Boring, which is a really wide wedge bot, and people were a little skeptical about our chances, but we ended up winning anyway. Might not be the GOAT yet, but we'll get in there. A lot of people like when it slams off all the walls. It can really just change what side of the arena it's on in a second and use that to get behind people when it works well. Here they're giving Farouk some inspiration. A lot of fans.
So Team Liftoff has positioned ourselves this year to be ready and able to go to BattleBots. I've actually taken a sabbatical. It will start April 1st. And both Andrew and Joshua are going to be done with college in May. And although they might have summer jobs, they're geared toward getting ready for BattleBots, building the bot, and making it all happen. And we're excited to move up, and the only way to truly move up is to actually do it. So we hope we have this opportunity. Team Liftoff has to build durable bots. We have to. We take a lot of hits as well as we give a lot of hits. In this fight against Eruption throws us against the ceiling twice, and we survive both, land fine and keep spinning.
Oh, it sounded like a gunshot, Kyle. That was terrifying, absolutely terrifying.
And on top of that, typically for every hit we give our opponent, we take 3 or 4 more.
Oh, that was all 4 walls there.
As we mentioned previously, you can't enter a traditional multi-brain on BattleBots because of the spinning mass limit for shell spinners. We've interpreted this rule to allow us, a multi-brain, to enter two 120-pound robots. This means that we'll have two robots in the cage for our opponents to have to chase, and by our calculations, they can only pin one of us at a time, which means the other one will be spinning up to deliver a massive hit on their backside. In order to adhere to the active weapon rule on BattleBots, our robot has split weapon and drivetrains. We have a deployable drivetrain that we can use to move around the box at 10 miles an hour. This allows us to push or execute controlled movements when necessary. When we want to spin up our weapon, we can retract that independent drivetrain into the bot, and we start spinning our massive weapon motors. This allows us to spin up to a tip speed of approximately 200 miles per hour, but we still have separate active weapon and drivetrain. In conclusion, Team Liftoff is a team on a mission. We're demonstrating cool technology that's never been seen on BattleBots. We're pushing the limits of autonomous robot technology. We're using two robots to create an effective multi-bot that has never been seen on the show. Our weapons can be adapted to match opponents. We've proven our ability to create durable robots, and the fans absolutely love watching multi-brain robots in the box.